Okay, so Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction, two very, very nice looking 4Ks. Reservoir Dogs is a much bigger upgrade from the standard Blu-ray as opposed to Pulp Fiction, in terms of clarity, detail, and color balance. The only real difference with Pulp Fiction is that it looks a little bit cooler. There's an overall cooler color temperature to the film. The colors do look more separated than the standard Blu-ray. The reds and the blues don't run into each other. But in terms of clarity and detail, there isn't a huge difference, not like with Reservoir Dogs. Now, in both instances, I went with the slipcover as opposed to the steelbooks because I'm not a huge fan of the steelbooks. Now, I appreciate what they did with the Reservoir Dogs steelbook. It's very creative. But the artwork just wasn't as appealing to me. Similar with Pulp Fiction, except with Pulp Fiction, I do really like the image that's on the front, even though it's just a screen grab. It's the amount of red in the background that got me conflicted. Now, if you have past versions of these films on regular DVD, regular Blu-ray, I would keep those. Especially if you like special features the way I do. The Reservoir Dogs disc doesn't have nearly as many as the past releases. Pulp Fiction, I think, has all of them. Can't really remember. So as is well known, Quentin Tarantino was not part of any of these restorations. And I understand why. I understand how much he doesn't really like digital and how much he prefers film. After all, now my go-to travel camera is my Minolta film camera. It's not just so I can travel lighter, it's because it looks nicer too. And if I want to shoot in black and white, I can easily do that. I can just get a black and white roll of film and put it in the camera. And it's true black and white, so it looks beautiful. So I understand how much he doesn't like it, and that's okay. But when he says things like, this is the primary thing for me. When he says something like, oh, I've got this great pristine print of whatever movie, Fistful of Dollars, whatever it is. I don't know if he knows or cares how overly entitled that sounds. Even back in the day when it was a common thing for most people to have a film projector in their house, they were really just watching home movies. It wasn't a regular thing of, okay, we gotta watch Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, so let's just get the reel out. Not really a common thing, especially because most people had 16 millimeter anyway. But it's not really a feasible and attainable goal for an average person to obtain a big blockbuster film print. And I know all this stuff about 4K and all the talk about digital generally makes them feel a little sad. But it's doing what we all love, which is film preservation. And in order to really preserve a film, we need digital technology. Maybe unfortunate, because as I have said, once you put a film into a computer, once you scan it in, it becomes a digital file. But preserving film as it is over time is a really difficult thing to do. It takes up a lot of space, at least the big 35 millimeter prints. It tears, it fades, it gets scratches. Now, despite the fact that he hasn't overseen any of these, I think that they have all turned out absolutely beautiful, except for Inglourious Bastards. I'm not 100% sure of. I've never watched that. I haven't seen the 4K. It's not my all-time favorite. I do own a Blu-ray of it because it was not very expensive, but it's not my all-time favorite. I really can't wait for the Kill Bills and Django Unchained. Django Unchained is my favorite. When I saw that he won the Best Screenplay Oscar for it, that's when I finally watched it. He 100% deserved the Best Original Screenplay for that. Okay, so there's Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.